scratched your name on a tile. The waitress asked why you've not been in a while. Softly squeezes my arm and says, well, it's good to see your smile. I'm still sleeping in cafes, dreams of city nights back when we'd wake up hungry but happy. I know we do it all again.
Welcome back, listeners, to what is, I think, our penultimate song. What you've just heard was I'm Still Sleeping in Cafes, or Cafes, depending on where you're from, which I think was one of Steve's most accomplished songs, even though I preferred the one before it. We're back in the attic. Today, I'm really excited to present or to share with you. We have Duncan McLean with us, and he's dialing in from Orkney, and Steve, of course.
Hello.
Hello, both of you.
Hello, Duncan. I'm thrilled to have you on board because you're just such a talented person. You're a writer, an accomplished cook, a sommelier, a cheeselier, a business owner, and a musician. Duncan, would you like to tell us maybe a little bit more about any of the aspects that I mentioned before, or if you just want to focus on the musical aspects?
Well, I'll focus, I suppose, on the one that's most topical, which is my adaptation of Robert Louis Stevenson's Treasure Island. Is currently running at the Lyceum Theatre in Edinburgh. I've been involved in theatre since I was a student, so, more than 40 years now. Although I really started off wanting to be a musician, and it was one of those cases where I wasn't quite good enough as a musician, so I started putting in funny jokes between the songs, and the songs started getting less important and the routines started getting more important. And then I found ways to combine both those elements into actual performance that I did and then plays I wrote for other people to perform. So Treasure Island is the latest and in some ways one of the most exciting example of that. Instead of the pirates sailing from Devon to the Caribbean, they sail from Leith to Orkney, and instead of a talking parrot, there's a talking puffin. And very important to me, there's fantastic music and songs throughout. Some of the lyrics written by me, and all the music and some of the lyrics written by Tim Dalling, a Scottish multi-talented musician. It's been a joy to work with him. And it's been, he's written some Christmas bangers in this show. I tell you, no one is going to leave that theatre without singing along to Merry Puffin Christmas. Happy Puffin Hogmanay. That is a Christmas banger.
Yeah, I can strongly recommend it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Steve, do you want to give us a little preamble? Is there anything you wanted to say?
So, in terms of setting this song up, if we look at the last two songs, Toodaloo was upbeat and got an okay response. Still Sleeping in Cafes was an attempt at a slower banger, and I think we decided at the end of that we would leave slower attempts behind, so this is going to be an upbeat song. I think that's all I'm going to say.
Okay, I think that's safe. So what is the title?
None of Your Business is the title of this song.
Right. Well, this is going to be a short podcast.
Everyone's asking, time after time, are they or aren't they, or is it just hearsay? We catch them together, time after time. They don't realize that they talk with their eyes. What is their problem? They're at the same parties, time after time. Go off with another instead of each other. Their friends know the score, they tell them time after time. They try to deny it, but nobody buys it. All join hands and repeat after me. It's none of your business. All join hands and repeat after me. It's none of your business. All join hands is what the public demand. They watch the same movies time after time, but we don't know whether they watch watch them together. They walk up the same streets time after time. They're happy 10th graders, they're practically neighbors. It's so obvious, they're out on the sports field time after time. They play on the same team, they share the same sun cream. They sit almost touching time after time, showing off cheekbones and sharing their headphones. All join hands and repeat after me. It's none of your business. All join hands and repeat after me. It's none of your business. All join hands. It's what the public demand. Everyone can see it. I like them already. I said I like them already. They're the worst kept secret. I bet they go steady. I bet they go steady. Their mums meet for coffee time after time. They're secretly scheming, but it's all well-meaning. Their dads meet on Sunday time after time. They catch the last quarter and wink at the daughter. All join hands and repeat after me. It's none of your business. All join hands and repeat after me. It's none of your business. All join hands. It's what the public demand. They're the worst kept secret.
Great, I enjoyed that.
You see, you survived it. We were worried when
When you'd walked out, we thought, oh.
Yeah, we thought he's lying down. He's had to go for a lie down after hearing that.
No, I switched on the printer so I could print out the lyrics, you see.
Oh, okay.
Ah, nice.
I liked it from the get-go. A bit human leaguey, taking me back to my teenage years, appropriately enough, given the subject of the song. The first couple of verses flew by. When the chorus came in, I think that's a really strong chorus.
Yeah.
And that kind of anchored it for me. As soon as you started singing the chorus, and that got lodged in my head, everything else in the song fell into place. So it's great to have those, it's like masts on a ship.
Huh.
With the chorus recur, and there they are, and the verses in the middle eights are kind of slung between them. And the brain, hearing it for the first time, learns the shape of the song and maybe even the meaning of the song, thanks to the repetition of the choruses. And it's a really, really strong chorus. I honestly believe, I'm glad I've got to talk about this one, because that's the most banger-like chorus you've written so far. I mean, all join hands and repeat after me. It's fantastic. That's just imagine everyone in the audience joining hands. It's perfect. Well, I already mentioned the Human League. I'm also reminded of Magazine, especially in the Howard Devoto.
Okay. Oh, I like that. Yeah.
The Buzzcocks and then Magazine with Howard Devoto as vocalist and lyricist. He had a way of singing, but he also had a very skewed view on the world. And a fragmented view in the world, and I was reminded of that. And I suppose you called it a jangly guitar. It sounded more like a scratchy guitar to me.
Yeah, I guess this is something that has developed. I like hearing scrapes, so the clatter of the guitar I do like as well. I must admit, I've probably been doing that increasingly.
Well, I'm a rhythm guitarist myself, and a proud rhythm guitarist. It's an essential component of any good band. A lead guitar is a nice addition, but it's really the rhythm guitarist who keeps the whole thing driving along. So I very much appreciate a percussive style of playing guitar.
Good.
It's something that doesn't detract from the vocals, which is really the most important thing. And of course I say that because I'm the singer in my band as well, so I don't want any of these flashy, highly skilled soloists getting in the way of the words.
Giving you some shadow.
I suppose what we haven't talked about is, and we normally get to talk about this in the podcast, is the quality of my vocal. So that's always been, if you've listened from the start, you'll have heard shocking episodes and some low scores as a result of that. And obviously that's something that I've been chipping away at over these first 9 songs. So I suppose it's immediately reassuring that wasn't the first thing you talked about. So that suggests to me is that it isn't horrible. But hey, if you've got anything to say on that, particularly the fact that it was a little bit hammed up, and whether that would detract from a banger.
I remember seeing a TV performance of David Bowie singing Young Americans in whenever that tour was, 1973 or something like that. And he had this amazing bunch of skilled musicians, backing vocalists behind him, and he was in the middle being the lead vocalist. And he looked and sounded like the weirdest half-human, half-lizard creature that you've ever encountered. Something clicked for me. You've got these wonderful, technically accomplished, can sing anything backing vocalists, but that's not what you want in a lead vocalist. In a lead vocalist, you want somebody who's a bit weird and completely unique, and it doesn't matter if they're half lizard. It's the fact they're projecting this character and they're putting the song over. That's the really important thing. If you'd got Luther Vandross from the backing vocal trio and put him to sing Young Americans, it would have been rubbish. And the other thing I wanted to say about your voice, Steve, lean into your limitations. Just be yourself. Don't see it as a problem, seeing it as an opportunity. Lean into your own voice, because that's completely unique to you.
Yeah.
And especially if it's someone who's writing the songs, it's really great to hear the songwriter words and the songwriter's voice.
Yeah.
And very similar to what Taylor was saying.
Yes, but she gave you the techniques to be able to maybe lean into it more or feel more comfortable. And that was what was really interesting was the last song. You really could hear the change. Your voice matched the type of song that it was, the kind of slow ballad. Whereas here, I think your voice is back to its scratchy, authentic self, but that it works with the song. There's a punky guitar. It's authentic. It's an unapologetic song, and that's one of the reasons I like it.
Putting my writer's hat on, because I write my own songs and perform with my band here and elsewhere. It was a real shock in what I say is the third verse to come across the line, "They're happy 10th graders." This was a shock because I thought, oh shoot, this is children. This song's about children. What? And also a secondary shock, 10th grade. Is that an American thing? So I'm trying to work out how old 10th grade is.
Okay, yeah.
I just wondered why you felt the need to have it be about children, friends who are really lovers or might be lovers. It's a really great adult theme, and I just wondered why you set it back in teenage years. And especially, the verse at the end about mums meeting for coffee and dads winking and stuff like that. I didn't like that verse. I just wondered why you did that and whether you might reconsider.
I was imagining 14, 15-year-olds at school. For me, that's sort of the place where interference in what's going on in kids' lives, either by their peers or by their parents, happens. It's that age. They're trying to feel their own way through romance and relationships. You're basically in a goldfish bowl, and the parents don't help very often. Yeah, 10th graders is, I think it's about 14, 15-year-olds. I think I was looking for a near rhyme as well.
But the rhyme is with "they're practically neighbours." I don't think that phrase adds much anyway. I would get rid of neighbours, and then you can get rid of graders as well. Mind you, I would get rid of the whole teenage thing and just have it about
that's okay. It's a fair point.
It might increase its banger potential if it's about young adults rather than
that's true.
Teenagers.
That's a very good point.
There's a fantastic Scottish writer called Gordon Legg. His speciality is writing about small towns and cliques and gossip.
Yeah.
And this song reminded me of one of his great short stories. Some of your details are absolutely fantastic and worthy of good fiction. You know, sharing the sunscreen, sharing the headphones, that's a brilliant image. That is really strong, vivid. In an instant, you picture the scene. It's a hard thing in that song, isn't it? Especially a banger. You've got to have the big sing-along chorus, but you've got to have what Roland Barthes called the effect of the real. You have to have little bits of specific concrete reality dropped in.
It's relatable.
Yeah.
To give the impression that these are actual people in there, and the fact there's a sing-along chorus as well is an addition. If you didn't have details like the sunscreen and the headphones, you would lose that reality effect, which I think you do need. Somebody I think is really good at it is Jarvis Cocker of Pulp. Songs like Common People or Disco 2000. You know, they've had Glastonbury singing along, hundreds of thousands of people, but there are enough. They've also really vivid pictures of bedsit life in the middle of there. It's really, really great. And you know, you're verging on that territory here, so you just need to go down that road a bit further, I think. I know you like some honest criticism, so I know this from my own attempts to do home recording, how really difficult it is to get the mix of instrumental and vocals right. And what I thought about the sound of the recording, with the proviso I was listening to it on an MP3 on a laptop speaker, was that all the instrumentation and to some extent the vocals were all crammed together in the middle ground. They were all kind of compressed. And I think a professional mixer would be able to put some space into that and let all the elements breathe and complement each other rather than fighting with each other, which I feel they are at times.
Yeah.
So give George Martin a phone and see if he's available.
Well, I think we've reached the point where it's scoring time.
Yep.
It's such a bizarre thing to do, to have to score a bit of music. I don't like competitions, and I don't really like scoring because it seems so unjust. That's such a crude way to talk about things, but how would I do it if I had to? I could either start with a perfect score and subtract. So let's say I started with a 5. I'll take 1 point off. No, I'll take half a point off because the mix isn't quite good enough and it gets in the way of appreciating the song. And I'll take another half point off because of the vagueness in some of the lyrics. In fact, I'll take another half point off because of the childhood, the teenager thing. So what does that get me to? 3.5.
3.5,
okay, now, going in the other direction, I'm having 1 for the overall music, especially the start, and that was good. I'm going to give you 2 for the chorus. I think that's a winner. And I'll give you 1.5 for some of those really great details, which are real winners, the headphones, the sunscreen, the specifics, and so on. So that takes us to 4.5.
Yeah.
I either get 4.5 if I'm going up, or I get 3.5 if I'm going down. Let's go for 4. 4.
That sounds great.
That sounds the type of logic we all follow.
Well, no, I love it because this is the most sophisticated. You really explained the process. I kind of go, I just follow my guts, and it's also based on the body of everything that's come before it. I'm also going to give it a 4. I think it's got great potential. I really, really like it.
So I tend to just listen to it and then have a break and listen to it again and have another long break and then have a listen to it again, so over a period of like a couple of weeks. I've sort of jumped around as a result of that. I also obviously listen to what you guys say. I'll give it a 4.5.
Great. Okay, so that's up with Toodaloo.
Yeah, so it's 2 4s and a 4.5. Yeah.
That's right, yeah. So this is currently the second. I mean, if we're using the scoring, it's the second most popular.
Yeah. Okay.
Well
deserved.
I won't argue with that, and I'd certainly listen to Steve's greatest hits. You put them all in order. We'll find out what's number 1 in popularity over the year.
Well, Duncan, thank you so much for taking the time to join us up in the attic. And
brilliant.
And good luck with your next banger.
Thank you very
Bye
much.
for now.
Yeah, cheers, Duncan.
Cheers.
And repeat after me. It's none of your business. All join hands and repeat after me. It's none of your business. All join hands. It's what the public demand.